Liberation Nation. We are a holistic empowerment podcast uniquely designed to empower, educate, and entertain your mind, body, spirit, and soul into living and sustaining a purposeful life. We are so glad that you have joined us on today and decided to tap in to Liberation Nation. We are just so elated about what we are doing. Oh my goodness, we have a treat for you. Do you hear me? Our previous episodes where we were talking about purpose is calling. Well, on this episode, I'm so glad that you're here because guess what? It's time to answer the call. So definitely stay tuned and locked in for us over this next 45 minutes or so. Liberation Nation, we are sponsored by Jewelz Connect Networking Agency, and I am your host, Christelle Jewelz. I am so glad that you have decided to join us, and here we have our co-host that's going to be joining us. We are just so glad to have her. Oh my goodness, let me tell y'all something else. This one right here is no joke. You hear me? She is going to come with the whole situation. Guess what? But she don't play. She's on a mission. She love her God. Don't mess with her. Live, laugh, love. These words have become my daily mantra. After losing loved ones unexpectedly, this phrase took on a deeper meaning to me. It reminded me just how precious life is and how essential it is to live fully, to embrace joy, and to love wholeheartedly at every opportunity. As a passionate advocate for mental health, I believe it's crucial to remember that we never truly know what someone else is facing. That's why we must always uplift and encourage one another, speaking life into each other with every chance we get. Let's embrace liberation and rise together as we are more than conquerors. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the one, and the queen.
Let's get started.
Yes, welcome to Winning Wednesdays, honey. Winning Wednesdays, and you already know how we get down right on the Winning Wednesdays.
Let's get started.
You know we got to start off by affirming our day. You ready? Are you ready to affirm our day? Awesome. Well, all you have to do is just repeat after us, okay? I am uniquely and wonderfully made. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am valuable. I am royalty. And I will win victoriously. Bop, 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 bop. You better. If you affirm that, guess what? You are uniquely and wonderfully made. You are beautiful. You are confident. You are valuable. And you are royalty. You will win victoriously. So we just wanted to speak life into you on today as we are so excited about our season 2, episode 3. Answer the call, CIERA. Yes. So first to begin, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You doing great?
I hope you're doing great. Oh, and you do.
You know, we going, man. I see the yellow going on there. Okay. Yes, he is not ready. I'm trying to saw you. Yes, we are so glad to see you. And what you want to tell the people?
Hey man, we woke up this morning That means that we got all the purpose in the world. We woke up.
Period. That's purpose alone, huh?
That's it.
Yes, we is living, huh? You better pinch yourself. You took a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Huh? You living? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure you check me. Don't make sure. That's the lesson I'm trying to tell you. But speaking of that, we are living, okay, and it doesn't even matter, because it's all about purpose. And that was the main thing. I just want to tab back in on our previous episode when we were talking about purpose is calling, and just understanding what that is. A lot of us, even at our big age or as we are growing, maturing, going through life, have no clue, right? No clue about why we are here, why we've been created. What do we do with the gifts and the talents that, we do well, that we do to bless others with, that we don't even know, that we don't even think twice, because we just are born into this certain lifestyle, right? Molded from birth all the way up through adolescence into adults. And this is the outcome, right? We have been molded by other people. We were talking about that last time, right? We don't get a say so.
Yes.
Did you get a say so?
I wish I did.
I ain't get no say so.
I wish I did.
So that's all we know when you don't get a say so, right? That's all we know when you don't get no say so. But when you start living life and experiencing life and growing into your own identity, right? Your identity, and fully knowing and understand the make of you, okay? Not everything that's been done to you, but who you truly are. What God has created you to be in his image, right? And so that's why it's so important that we take care of our temples, okay? We got to make sure we keep our minds stay on our Creator, the Heavenly Father. Why? Because it's way too much going on.
Time you turn around, something is happening.
I'm trying to tell you. I mean, just within the news, within our families, it's just like, oh my goodness, like how can we release? How can we find a way to ensure that our mental is on point, intact? Because I'm telling you, this world will drive you insane in the membrane.
It really will. And I was talking to my son today about that exact topic, because I think that we feel as if our children, they don't have nothing to stress about. But in this world, these kids have a lot to stress about, and they don't have an escape, a healthy escape, and even from a child to a teenager, to a young adult, and you growing in age, you always have to have an outlet.
Yes.
It's journaling, whether it's going for a walk in the park, sitting at a lake, cooking. Some people love cooking. That's their therapy. You just got to find your therapy.
Absolutely. You got to find with the things that you love to do, and, like you said, this world that we live in is so many different influences that we are under, even to the point where they're trying to strong arm us with so many different things, even with, the different lifestyles, lifestyle choices that's been created, that's now we happen to encounter and alter our lives or include in our lives, that's become more inclusive. Like, this is real. It's a lot that the mind and the mental goes through, where it's a must to renew your mind daily. It's a must to find outlets where you can release. It's an absolute must to find, a way to get those endorphins, those good feelings, those good vibes going in your body for your mental sake, just for you to stay sane, just because it's so much. But even though it's so much going on, right, everybody has a certain capacity to, based on how you've been designed, right? We know this is flesh. We talked about this before. This is all flesh. It's our spirit that lives on before, and during, and after, okay, life. So that's the most important component that actually makes us up, is our spirit. So if we're not grounded within our spirit, then we remain lost. We remain feeling hopeless. We remain feeling like we're just existing instead of living. We remain blinded to what our purpose and what our calling actually is. So really authentically being yourself, right, Quincy? In
Absolutely.
terms of our identity is what we have to come face to face with, not with all these influences and all these trends and everything going on.
I think that's a very important point that you pulled up, because when it deals with your identity, are you able to sit with yourself? I think that's the first thing. Are you able to sit with yourself, and that'll help you determine what you're doing in the world.
Yes, sitting with yourself, it hit different. It hit different.
I mean,
When the noise cease and you just have to deal with you, and you see you for who you are, or when you really get a chance to look a little bit close in the mirror instead of just bypassing it, like we bypass the mirror on the daily. We so in a rush and so in a move, and we hop in the shower, hop out the shower, barely look at ourselves, to see why. A lot of people don't even want to. A lot of people is disgusted
yes,
with who the person is, what they're looking at.
yeah. Who's looking back at you?
If that's the case, then shouldn't that be an indicator to want to be able to figure this thing out?
Yes, absolutely.
To want to be able to learn something else new, or to come to grips with what this real life is all about.
Right.
And want to level up and evolve.
Yes. Because part of identity is identifying your strengths and also your weaknesses. And I think that it's important, because our weaknesses are just as much as our strengths, but we rather display our strengths to the point where we forget or try to bury the weaknesses, because we're trying to level up. We're trying to prove a point to everybody except our creator.
Absolutely.
We get lost. We never reach our full identity. We never reach our full potential. We're too busy trying to, well, I'm this, and at least I'm not doing that, and at least I'm not doing that. But you also have some stuff that you have to work on, and that's part of your identity,
Absolutely. That's it right there. That's how we get lost within ourselves, and your true identity. We know that we have strengths, right? Everybody has something that they can do well. I don't care what you say. I don't care what they told you or what they heard about you. Everybody has something. You have something that you can do well. And so it's the areas of weakness, the areas of vulnerability, the areas of lack that is what we don't want to pay attention to. But if you are going to be authentically yourself, that comes with it. And so if that comes with it, then we got to do something different. We got to better ourselves, And what is that doing something different look like? Finding out why we do what we do.
It's not answering that call. When your phone rings, you never know what the other person on the other end of that phone gonna say, and we never know what our creator is gonna say when we answer that call. He might say, "You need to stop spending so much on them clothes." What? You don't need to buy every iPhone that come out, huh?
Yeah, because you have goals. I got something bigger for you.
Right. You need to downsize your house. Oh, we don't want to do that. We don't. But that's a part of answering the call.
Right. And with that being a part of answering the call is figuring out or on a journey of discovery of oneself. And that's where self-love comes into play. You got to equate yourself inside of everything else. Really first.
Really.
So if you don't put yourself first, I don't care, single, married, whatever, you have to put yourself first, whatever that requires. You can't be lazy with yourself all your life, because that's not going to get you nowhere. So what do I mean by that? Meaning that the main excuse. What's the main excuse, Queen C, when it comes on to self-love and spending time with yourself and doing anything for yourself? What's one of the main excuses that people give? Time, right? I don't have time. I'm too busy. I can't find the time in the day. It's not enough time in the day. It's 24/7. I'm gonna, right? I only get 2-3 hours of sleep every day. How I'm gonna find time for me?
This is
right?
true.
Time. It's time freedom that everyone longs for, right? If you don't have if you don't know what your purpose is in life, figure out how to have some time freedom.
This is true. This is true. And you know, it's ironic. I was having a conversation earlier today. It's strategically made for us to not have time. I mean, look at the economy.
Yes.
How much we get paid an hour.
Yes.
It takes 2 and 3 jobs to uphold and household.
Yes. Real talk.
Don't have time.
Yes. Big facts.
And it's such a strategic way that I feel that the enemy has allowed to happen, because it's like you're raising this, you're raising that, you're raising this, but nobody's raising the pay rate.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of us are stressed out. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure that out, and we really don't see where we have the time to have that self-love or have those moments, you know, with our Creator to technically get the next step.
Absolutely. All of that is big facts, right? But then that goes back to that's all we know.
Yeah.
We were programmed straight into and out of survival mode. Period.
Fight or flight.
Survival mode. You're going to go out here. You're going to get this job, depending on whichever city, state you lived in, and what was whether you were in the manufacturing areas or medical field or lawyer, doctrine, whatever is in your family lineage, the military, whatever genre that you've been rooted, that you come from. That's all we know is survival mode. God did not create us to be in survival mode. That's why he says that the way we are to be blessed is if we are good stewards over the things that he has blessed us with and granted us with. Being good stewards, meaning being more responsible about ourselves.
Yes.
Our mental states, our bodies, our temples, being intentional with our spirituality, the gifts that he's blessed us with, sharing them and not holding them. Because the more we hold them on, we see that we don't get blessed that way.
Can't do it.
The only way you stay blessed is to be a blessing. So, yes.
And I was just gonna say, to much that is given, much is required.
Period.
I think we always want the much, the more, but we don't want to give too much. We don't
at all. And that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to take, is the give. The give is in the surrenderance. We didn't jump ahead, but we here. The give is in the surrenderance to our Creator, because we just trying to run our life. We making all the decisions. We know what's best. We will know what we want. You know what I mean? Like, what? Anything that throws us off, what? That's not, that might be God leading you and bringing you to something that's way bigger than this little something you working on over here. But if you don't understand who you are in your authentic self, which takes time, which is the self-care, you were talking about you didn't have the time, but it's called balance. We have 24 hours.
Get up a little earlier.
Period. Led to my point.
Yeah, get up a little earlier. It's a sacrifice, but you know, you one thing that I always tell my son when it comes to decision making is you got to understand that both choices are hard.
Yes.
Either way.
Choose one.
Yeah, you might as well choose one that's going to allow you to go into greatness. I mean, getting up in the morning a little earlier, maybe an hour earlier, yeah, that's hard. But if it gives you that time to get the self-love going so that you can get into your, you know, your identity and making sure that your mental health is good, then do it. Versus still sleeping at the same time and being trapped in your mind.
Lazy with yourself.
Yeah.
Not going to get anywhere doing that.
Both decisions are hard. Both outcomes are hard, but which one is worth it?
Absolutely. And I posted something the other day, said, faith or fear, choose one. They both demand your energy. They both demand your energy.
Period.
Choose one. Why not choose the better one?
Why not?
Because it requires a little bit more. So you're not worth it? Yes, you are. You're uniquely and wonderfully made, remember?
Yes.
Yes. Huh? You are God's masterpiece, remember that?
Yes.
So you have to treat yourself accordingly.
You do.
And that's understanding that you come from a royal priesthood.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
So that's where, you know, we have to humble ourselves, give in surrenderance, and accept the call. What do you mean the call? What is the call? Always talk about the calling of your life. What is the call? That's for you and your creator. That's for you and God to converse about, because he's going to show you.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you, he's going to bring the signs. You're going to start meeting people. You're going to end up in certain environments that you was like, well, how did I end up here? Certain people going to be mentioning your name drop, and certain, you know, stuff just starts happening. And, you know, God allows for the universe to send you signs. God, our God, the God that we serve, he shows up in miracles, signs, and wonders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I get up every day looking forward to how this new day is going to be different than yesterday. We talked about people saying, when you ask them, well, how you doing and how you feeling? Oh, same old, same old.
Right.
Same old, and it's a new day.
Right. You that energy over. You woke up, you went to sleep, and you was able to wake up.
But you see different people, like, yeah, you might go to the same job and the school and all that, and you see the same people for the whole 8 hours, 12 hours, and you working every day. But I guarantee you it's going to be somebody new, or something different, or a different kind of conversation, or something else that you witnessed, or a certain win that you might have got, you know, or sometimes a detriment, because life still happens. You know, but we have to keep it moving, keep it with forward movement, because it's all about leveling up. It's all about the greatness. It's all about getting to everything that God has for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because as we continue to serve our masters, we continue to give, as we continue to surrender, mm-hmm. right? That allows him to be activated in our lives.
And I think that, you know, a lot of people look at their life, and of course we have the mentality, oh, I wish I didn't have to go through this, or I wish I didn't have to go through that. But what we fail to realize is enduring these things is what creates our character.
Period.
And
Yes.
that's just that. If we didn't go through the things that we needed to go through, we couldn't be who we are today.
Right. And character matters. You know, why are you trying to act like it don't? And you don't care and you live your life all crazy or whatever. Like, character really do matters. Especially when you leveling up and you start maturing more in life. And you start having kids and Brittany and youth, and you now you have legacy that you created, because that's what your seeds are. Mm-hmm. It's not just for a government check. And even if that was the motive, hello, God still allowed it and ordained it. It wasn't by mistake. That's called legacy. That's something to live for. Yes. That's the purpose.
Yes.
That is your calling.
Let's get started.
You being who you are is your calling.
Absolutely.
Your calling is being the daughter or the son to your mother and father. Serving them so that your days can be longer.
Oh, that's real good.
That's your calling. Your calling is to your husband or your wife.
Absolutely.
Serving them as you would serve your creator, because he's blessed your union. He's blessed your covenant.
Yes.
That's your calling. Your calling to the community. We all have faced life challenges.
All of us.
Whether we ourselves, or we witnessed, or we know someone that has gone through devastation of life. Pandemics, matter of fact.
Hello.
We've was having pandemics before the actual pandemic happened.
That was such a strategic move, I feel, of God.
Yes, absolutely.
Back into those isolation moments to where we realize what's important.
It was valuable.
It was valuable. Yes. Did we catch on? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it only lasts for so long. It only lasts for so long, but that's where the importance of renewing your mind daily, keeping your spirit strong, keeping your mental clear, so you can make better decisions, and you can understand the decisions that you make, the impact that it has on everybody that you are attached to. The decisions that we make affects everybody.
Oh, that's real good.
So that's why character matters, right? And that's what God looks at. He looks at not all of the things that we done. What? We are so undeserving. But he looks at our heart.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Something that's internal, something that's hidden.
The intent of the heart. Character comes from the intent of the heart.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
It comes from the intent of the heart. So that's why character matters. So, accepting that call in whatever aspects. I just shout out a lot of different things. If you was lost before, now you've been found.
Okay.
That's real good.
We were able to discover what a calling is, what your calling is. And that's what leads you to living a purpose-driven life. It starts to create more curiosity for you to want to know more about your position or your role or your existence and whatever your calling is, right? And so that's where we have no choice but to answer the call.
Yeah.
We really have no choice but to answer the call, because we didn't make ourselves.
As you are speaking about answering the call, I visualize the different phones of how we've evolved in phones. But the phone that I remember is it had a spiral cord. And it hooked to the base.
Old school phone, yeah. Remember the long one? Yo, the long one at G1 house. Like, yo, you go all the way down the hallway.
From the bedroom to the kitchen to the living room. Listen.
The bathroom,
right. like, girl, you know, but the significance that was shown to me about the spiral cord is when you're answering the phone, you know, you're trusting that first of all, this cord is going to get you from point A to point B. And the fact that it's spiraling, you never, you know, it just goes in a circle. You know, it might get a little kink in it, and you gotta, girl, I can't hear you, and you know what I mean. And you get the kink out. That's how God is in the call. He calls us. I mean, he's traveling with us. You know, sometimes there's a kink. Sometimes we may lose a little connection, and then we can even go to the phones today where there is no cord at all, but they're going off of signals and satellites. And sometimes the call may drop depending on what area you're in. But God is still there. We're still trusting that, oh, I can call them back when I get into an area that has service. Yeah. So even if we pull away from our journey and we go off course, we can still, God makes a way of escape for us to still come back to the place where we can ring, ring, ring. Hey, God, da 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 da. And he's still there.
Absolutely. As you were saying it, I was thinking, even when we restrain ourselves from the call, like, you know that it's a calling on your life or what your call is, but because of pretty much fear and doubt, that's really what it is. But you rejecting, you keep rejecting the call. Nah, that's too much. Nah, that's not me. Nah. You keep rejecting the call, and he's still there on the line, waiting, static, everything. You done took it out. Remember, you take it out, put it back in. Keep, you know. So yes, that it's all about, you know, answering the call. Why? Don't be afraid of the call. Embrace it. Have fun in it. Be creative and innovative in it. See how you can inspire others with it. Like, my life's mission is to live a life of inspiration. Yes. Period. In all aspects of my life, I want to inspire. So whether it's me being Christelle Jewelz in my daughter role, whether it's me in my mother role, whether it's me in my business role, whether it's me serving in my community role, whether it's me in my advocacy, it all comes from purpose. It all comes from the calling that is on my life. And so, you know, when we are identifying what our calling is, as we mentioned before about our strengths and weaknesses, what is it that you do well? What is it that you do with your eyes closed? What is it that you do that's infectious in a positive way to others? Is it your thoughtfulness? Is it your creativeness, your innovation? Is it the way that you embrace one another? When we are identifying what our calling is, as we mentioned before about our strengths and weaknesses, what is it that you do well? What is it that you do with your eyes closed? What is it that you do that's infectious in a positive way to others? Is it your thoughtfulness? Is it your creativeness, your innovation? Is it the way that you embrace one another, others? Is it because of your life experience you want to give back in that manner? So these are things that creates the zeal and the passion in your life. And so once you make these discoveries, now you can flourish in it. Now you can live a purposeful life. Now you're creating legacy for your namesake, right? Absolutely. And that is why your creator allowed you to have life here on this earth. Yeah. So that's the beautiful part about living this life. but living a purpose-driven life is even more fruitful. It's more flourishing. What is it to you, Queen C? Because I can carry on.
I feel like living a purpose-driven life is what rejuvenates you, because it's like when the woman was talking to Jesus, and they were at the well, and he said, if you drink my water, you'll never go thirsty again, or whatnot. And that's purpose. If we continue to go in our purpose or our calling of what God has us to do, he will forever supply our needs. So you'll never go thirsty, you'll never go hungry, you'll never go without. That's what that means to me. You're always going to be taken care of.
Absolutely. Because he is Jehovah Jireh, God our provider. And so, because of who he is, it just is. Okay. So we could definitely go on and on. And that's why it's so key to stay locked in with us for each and every episode, because we do tab in and out, recapping and bringing everything together for you in regards to purpose. But I just wanted to start out with Elise, purpose, identity, and finding your niche. Finding your niche is your calling. Those things, your giftings, your talents, those things that you can offer back in servitude, in gratitude, right? For this gift of life, for the time that we've been granted, because we don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know what our stamp or our expiration date is. And so every day should be a holiday. Every day should be a day of winning. Every day should be a mission in regards to living a fruitful life, living the life that we deserve. And that is of royalty. We are kings. We are queens. We are prince and princesses. And so we should carry ourselves in that manner. And so that's why it's so important that we answer the call. It's so important that you do not miss that phone call, because that could be the phone call that could change your life. That could be the phone call that can give you life and opportunities. That could be the phone call that you needed to uplift you, or the phone call that someone was reaching out to you and was looking for you because it was something special about you, something unique about you, something beautiful about you that allowed them to call you. And so that's why we have to make sure we answer the call. Okay. All right. Yes. So we just wanted to be tabbing into with you in regards to what purpose is and what calling is. And thank you so much, Queen C, for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom in regards to that. And so up next,